Today's episode is brought to you by the Whole Life Decluttering Workshop, featuring a proprietary 6-step system, the Simple System, to help you declutter your life in a way that will last. Purchase this workshop on demand and receive the video training and dedicated workbook at positivelyproductive.com/resources. It's not just about what we choose to do with our time, it's how we show up to do it. You can be focused on the right projects and tasks that align with your values and strengths and be so passionate in doing so. But if you aren't doing it at the right time and with the proper energy, you'll be hard-pressed for it to work for you. That's why I believe energy management is more important than time management. You're listening to the Positively Living podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Zawrotny, founder of Positively Productive Systems and a productivity coach certified in positive psychology and stress management. Join me as we explore ways to live a more proactive, positive life with episodes on productivity, self-awareness, mindset, entrepreneur life, habits and systems, simplicity, fun, and more. I understand overwhelm personally as a multi-passionate entrepreneur, wife and mom to kids and cats, and as a caregiver. I'm here to help you choose what's right for you so you can do less, live more, and breathe easier. Sound good? Let's get to it. Welcome to the Positively Living podcast. I'm your host, Lisa, and as I record this, I have to admit I'm feeling low energy today. And keeping it real, I have been lately. I'm sure you know the feeling of being drained physically and mentally. That's why today I'm sharing why it's important to manage your energy, how to boost it in a way that positively impacts your productivity, and why this kind of energy management is actually superior to time management for sustainable productivity. As a holistic productivity coach, I've seen in every client I've worked with how much overall well-being impacts productivity. And as a former and current caregiver and a mom, I experience it personally too. I've spent years, decades really, in various states of overwhelm and exhaustion. And I've come to realize it's very much a part of life for most of us. So then the question becomes, how do you break free from it? How do you avoid it? Or if you can't avoid it, at the very least, how do you recover from it? Where do you find the balance? I believe the answer lies in how we approach productivity in the first place. We live in a society that praises the hustle and grind approach and encourages us to ignore our own needs in the process. And then when we want to be more productive, yeah, those were air quotes, the majority of the recommended systems and experts say we need to improve our time management. I would argue that's an outdated concept and it steers us in the wrong direction. Yes, it's essential to choose well what we do with our time. We want to be selective and intentional about how we use the time we have. I just talked about this 2 episodes ago, and I highly encourage you to choose your actions and your to-dos in a way that aligns with you. But there's more to it. It's not just about what we choose to do with our time, it's how we show up to do it. You can be focused on the right projects and tasks that align with your values and strengths and be so passionate in doing so. But if you aren't doing it at the right time and with the proper energy, you'll be hard-pressed for it to work for you. That's why I believe energy management is more important than time management. Now let's quickly review and compare the two so you can see the distinctions and see what I mean. Time management is about organizing your schedule and tasks within a fixed amount of time. It focuses on planning, prioritizing, and scheduling activities to maximize efficiency. It's definitely what I coach, and as I said, there's nothing inherently wrong with this approach. You do need this aspect. It's an important part of being organized and planning our lives successfully, but it's missing awareness and consideration for our humanity. Traditional time management can be effective for people who are healthy, who have limited tasks and commitments, who have lots of help, and/or whose brain functions in a neurotypical way, for want of a better description. So once again, I'm advocating for the others. What about the caregivers and the chronically ill, the creatives and neurodiverse? And what about those who are using traditional time management successfully? Everything's going along fine until a traumatic event hits and then everything goes off the rails. If you've ever experienced that, you know how it changes your perspective on your time and your ability to show up for even the simplest task. It also shifts your perspective. If you've ever been through a really difficult time, you know how life comes into focus fast. Things that you thought mattered, you let go of immediately, almost without thought, in order to focus on what really does. Time is a fixed resource. Our energy is not. It's constantly fluctuating. Throughout our lives, our days, the hours within them, we experience physical and mental changes that impact our ability to focus, our interest in what we're doing, and what we value. Some days we feel like we can conquer the world, and others we struggle to get off the couch. Sometimes we're sick or frustrated. We even have physiological energy peaks and valleys naturally, which I highlight in episode 215 on understanding your personal internal productivity rhythm. Energy management is about understanding and optimizing those personal energy levels. It recognizes fluctuations and aims to align tasks with the right levels. It's about working smarter, not just harder, by focusing on how you feel and how well you can perform certain tasks based on those energy levels. It's matchmaking your energy to the task and also accepting when you don't have the energy to do a task. Once you're able to assess your energy levels, both regular patterns and unexpected shifts, you can optimize what you do to support your daily tasks and your long-term goals. If it seems like all roads here lead to self-awareness, you would be right. In order to use energy management to your benefit, you need to start with understanding where your energy comes from. Acknowledge and adjust when it's lower, and learn how to replenish it. That's the exciting part. With time as a fixed variable, you aren't going to make that wish of more hours in the day happen, but with energy, you have some options. That brings me to the 5 habits that can really help you maximize your energy. Now, please keep in mind these aren't quick fixes. They're ways to build a more sustainable and vibrant life. But there are definitely a lot of options within each that you can try. Habit 1, rest. First up, let's claim it now. Rest is productive. Let me repeat that. Rest is productive. Can we all agree that the perspective on resting being lazy is not only utterly wrong, but it's harmful? Great. Glad we're on the same page about this. Let's talk about what rest really is. Think of rest as refueling your tank so that you have the energy to do what you need to do what you do best. It can mean getting a good night's sleep, which is crucial, but it's more than that. Rest comes in many forms. It could be a nap or even a few minutes of quiet meditation. It's about letting your body and your mind stand down for a bit. For caregivers, especially, I know finding time for yourself can seem impossible, but even 5 minutes of quiet to close your eyes and take deep breaths can make a huge difference. A bonus tip here is to elevate your feet if you're able, because it will calm your nervous system, improve circulation, and help your body feel more calm. For other ideas about resting, you might want to check out my episode with Gary Ware on rest and play. I'll put that in the show notes, and you might be surprised at what he suggests. One more thing that supports the habit of rest that my fellow creatives will especially appreciate. Rest is where inspiration often strikes. Allowing your mind to wander and daydream, to calm, to stop having to focus can lead to your next big idea. I know my best ideas come when I'm in the shower or driving in a quiet car or trying to nap. Habit number 2 is nourishment. Our bodies need the right fuel to function at their best. It's about being mindful of how different foods affect your energy levels. This isn't just about eating healthy food, although that's important. And it doesn't mean we can't have treats, but it does mean being aware of what food does to us specifically. For example, how well do you focus when you skip breakfast versus starting your day with a nutrient rich breakfast? Does fasting help you focus, or do you need sustained energy? And when you do have a sugary snack, do you feel the rush and crash, or does your body process it fairly fast? Do you feel hungry after? All of these things can impact how you focus. I know that when I'm hungry, it can be very distracting. When you're overwhelmed with too much to do and caring for others, it can be easy to skip this part, thinking it won't have that much of an impact. But how we nourish ourselves does impact our energy in a big way. And it's up to you to figure out how specifically so that you can optimize your nourishment. Also, may I add that nourishment could be considered spiritual as well. It's not just about the food we put in our body. Think about what feeds you as a whole person, whether it's your physical energy or something deeper. When you feel cared for, when you feel sated, you're more likely to be in flow, to focus better, and to be able to go with the flow. And that flow state, that's where we are our most productive selves. Habit number 3 is creative exploration. Now, this might seem counterintuitive because being productive often means feeling like we have to do the high value things, and creative exploration may sound more like playing. But engaging in creative activities can actually energize you and make you more productive. It's not always about working on your main projects. It's about anything that sparks joy and lets you express yourself. This could be painting, writing, playing music, doodling, coloring, reading. It could even mean painting or stenciling or designing a room if that's your thing. It could be as simple as singing along to your favorite song while doing chores or taking a walk. By the way, I have multiple Spotify playlists from songs mentioned in the podcast episodes by my guests, and they're all uplifting. They're all about what songs make them feel like they're positively living. And I will link those in the show notes. Actually, they're always linked in the show notes so you can find them readily. I know my fellow multi-passionate creatives will be excited about this suggestion. See, now is the time to not only find your creative expression, but to explore different mediums, try new things, let your curiosity guide you. For my fellow lifelong learners, go ahead and read and sign up for a course and learn new things. The bottom line is when you're engaged in something you love, it fills you up and it helps you show up better. Does this really work? Yes. One of my clients, who's an artist and musician, lamented finding time to draw and play guitar. He wished he could do that, yet he felt like he wasn't allowed because he had so much work that needed to be done. He was so far behind in so many other things. I strongly encouraged him to set those things aside and actually prime his productivity by making time before these projects to doodle and strum even for a few minutes. It doesn't take that long for you to get the benefits. And when he tried this technique, his work improved and he felt better because he wasn't neglecting the things that he really loved to do. Another client, who's a husband and father and a very successful business owner, found that getting new certifications were his way of being creative. Now, did he need them to run his business successfully? No. Could they be considered a waste of time by some because they weren't necessary? Maybe. But what we realized when we dug further into how he shows up best is that learning new things was so energizing to him. When it changed how he showed up for everything else, we realized it was worth it. Habit 4 is movement. When I say movement, I don't mean just hitting the gym. Exercise is great, and if that's your thing, go for it. But what I mean is finding ways to move your body that works for you because movement helps to release endorphins, which can boost your mood and energy levels. So taking a walk is a great example. It doesn't have to be hard hitting. You don't have to be sweating for this to be effective. You could take a walk in nature, especially. Dancing in your living room counts. Stretching, or even going and playing the drums. But if I get complaints about that, I will deny that I ever suggested this. Even pacing while you brainstorm, or taking time to get up from your desk to do some gentle stretches to release tension can be so good. I actually have fun with this because I track my steps. So any moment that I have where I can get up and walk while I'm talking on the phone or I'm listening to a podcast or just thinking about something or trying to take a break from my desk to get some ideas, I will keep walking. Anything like this, any kind of movement will get the circulation going, which is good for your brain. And also, moving is like a change that you need to shake off that tendency to lose focus. You can get caught in a stare, you can be daydreaming and not really focusing that well. And when you get up and get moving, it kind of snaps you out of it. Last but not least, and I really need to mention this because I don't think we think of it that often, it's essential to reward yourself. This is one that might really sound counterintuitive, but I found it essential for boosting energy and for being productive. Too often, I hear people say that achieving a goal is its own reward. Nope, I don't agree. Well, yes, it's rewarding, but what can drive you forward on a goal is having something else that you really want to look forward to once you reach that goal. It doesn't have to be anything big or expensive. It doesn't have to be a huge goal. It's about acknowledging your efforts and celebrating your wins, no matter how small. It's basically the carrot on the stick that will help you persevere, help you take the steps you need to take and keep you going, because that's what's going to get you to your goals. It could be as simple as having a treat while watching your favorite videos once you get all those emails done or you finish making calls. I hate making calls, so I make sure to treat myself well after I'm done. Or it could be planning an outing with friends. Or for my introverts, planning the opposite, hiding away because you are so done peopling. It could be treating yourself to some new supplies or maybe a book. My bibliophiles know what I'm talking about. It could be sharing your work with others so that you can appreciate what you've created through their eyes. And this can especially be nice if you have an accountability buddy who needs to celebrate in the same way. Rewarding yourself reinforces positive behavior and keeps you motivated and energized. And further proof that this works, I will use an example in my own life with my own kiddos who really, really don't like to clean their rooms. This is task aversion of the greatest extent. And the minute they say that they want to go somewhere and do something, my eldest just recently had an outing he wanted to go on, and he knew that cleaning his room was something he needed to do. And he said, "If I get that done, is it cool if I go?" And I said, "Absolutely." And do you know how fast he cleaned that room? So there you go. The reward is not only what you need to do for after you've achieved something, it's the thing that can help you get through all the things you need to do to achieve your goals. So, those are the 5 habits to energize you, to make you more productive. And I'm curious to know, what do you think? Which of these 5 would you try today? There must be one that's jumping out to you. I'd love to know what it is. Message me and let me know. And if you want to dive deeper into energy management, there are a number of episodes you may want to check out. Plus, I have a workbook for you will absolutely love. The episodes are linked in the show notes. They include one on understanding your internal productivity rhythm, which I mentioned before, one on how seasons affect your productivity, and one on how seasonal planning is helpful for neurodiverse minds. That was recorded with Eric Fisher of Beyond the To-Do List, who has been interviewing productivity experts for years. So he has a lot of great tips in that episode. One episode in particular you may appreciate because it brings all of these ideas together is a strategy call where I coach my client Amanda to help her with juggling business and family. One of my favorite takeaways is the importance of setting aside time for yourself to do the things that bring you joy and relaxation. It's so much more than self-care, it's energy management. It's especially important for those that work so hard and are so driven. Rest and joy make you more productive. I know, I've said it before, but I'll keep saying it again. And I hope that if you take nothing else with you today, that's what you take with you. And with that, that's the best segue to let you know about one more resource, my Joy List workbook. This is fun, this is easy, and you can do this within 5 minutes. You can find it along with a core values workbook and an assessment workbook in the Positively Productive Toolkit. The Joy List workbook is designed to help you discover what you truly love to do. If you haven't stopped to think about what it is that you love, all the different variations of things that you love, this is it for you. It's going to help you create your own personalized guide to self-care and energy management. And you can download it for free by going to the resources page of the Positively Productive website and looking for the Positively Productive Toolkit, or you can type in positivelyproductive.com/toolkit and it will take you right to the landing page. Once you download the Joy List, please share a screenshot of it and your top 3 favorite things that you love to do. Let's share with each other what we love and help each other boost our energy so we can all live a more vibrant, fulfilling life. Thank you for joining me today. Your time is precious and I'm honored you chose to spend it with me. If you have feedback or questions, you can find me through the Connect page of the positivelyproductive.com website. And if you're looking for any of the resources mentioned here, from books to products to training and more, go to positivelyproductive.com/resources.